In this video we are going to talk about the 5 kids who vanished into the woods. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. Fairy tales, horror films, and parents' greatest nightmares all revolve on a youngster wandering in the woods. Some children who become lost in the wilderness survive, but others do not. Here are the 5 children who went missing in the woods. Number 5. Deor Coons. Authorities have been perplexed by the disappearance of 2-year-old Deor Coons for more than a year. Last July, the kid vanished while on a family camping trip in Idaho's Salmon Challis National Forest. The forest, which covers 4.3 million acres, is a favorite holiday area. When the parents went exploring, they left the youngster with another family member, and when they returned to their tent, the child had vanished. As the days progressed into months without any sign of the boy, his parents speculated that he may have been taken. Deor's parents were listed as suspects in the little boy's disappearance in January, which was a shock. Deor's family contacted private investigator Philip Klein when the toddler first went missing. He claims he was sacked because he began to suspect them. He compares Jessica Mitchell to Casey Anthony, who was acquitted of the murder of her kid in 2011. Jessica Mitchell and Vernal Coons, the boy's parents, say they went for a stroll and left the toddler with his grandfather, but when they returned to camp, the boy was gone. The boy's parents have not been charged. They claim to have worked with the authorities and are absolutely innocent. Alan Browning represents the parents of the missing youngster. He told Inside Edition that the parents don't know what happened to their son, but it's plausible that a wild animal kidnapped him. Number 4. Jared Adero. Alan Adero was a member of a Christian singles group in October 1999, and he became close friends with the other members. The group planned a hiking vacation in Colorado's Roosevelt National Forest. Alan opted not to go on the hike that day, but his children insisted on going. So Alan entrusted the safety of his 2 children, Jared, 3, and Jocelyn, 6, to his pals. The party elected to hike Comanche Peak, which is located deep within the 260 square kilometer, 100 square mile, wildlife reserve. Perhaps the Christian singles lacked experience with children. Toddlers have a lot of energy and are infamous for running away at any given moment, but no one was looking for Jared. The New York Times reported that each member of the group gave wildly different estimates for how long they were trekking before anyone discovered the toddler was missing, ranging from 20 minutes to an hour and a half. For several days, a search crew of nearly 50 people brought dogs to look for Jared, but the kid was nowhere to be seen. Despite a thorough search, Jared's remains were not discovered until 2003. They discovered Jared's sneakers 170 meters, 550 feet, above the route, in a spot that is impossible even for adults to ascend. Despite the fact that he had been absent for years, they appeared to be brand new. They also discovered his hoodie, which was in perfect condition, and his inside-out jeans. They discovered one tooth and a fragment of his cranium around 45 meters away from his clothing. Some speculate that his body was taken up the steep trail by a mountain lion, while others assume he was murdered. His garments would have been ripped to shreds if he had been attacked by a mountain lion or bear. There are numerous aspects of this case that make no sense. Jared's case has remained unsolved to this day. Number 3. Dennis Martin. In June 1969, it was a Saturday in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Dennis Martin was a 7-year-old child who was on a family camping trip. Because he was developmentally challenged, his mental age was behind that of other children his age. Douglas, his older brother, and 2 other boys were running about in an open field surrounded by trees. The grown-ups sat several yards away from the children, yet they did not allow them to escape their sight. Douglas, 9 years old, suggested to Dennis and his friends that they trick the grown-ups by creeping up behind their parents in the woods. As a result, the kids broke up. 3 of the boys headed one way, but Dennis went in the opposite direction on his own. From where he sat, Dennis's father, William, could see everything. Dennis did not emerge from the woods with the other 3 lads after they had pranked their parents. After only 5 minutes, William sprang up and began running to the location where he last saw Dennis. He screamed his son's name and sprinted for 3 kilometers through the woods without spotting him. Dennis was being sought by 1,400 people. Dennis was never found despite the extensive search. His body was never discovered. Number 2. Alfred Bealhearts. Camping in the woods in 1938 was significantly more primitive than it is today. The Bealhearts family needed to trek to a nearby stream to wash themselves and drink water after waking up in their tents in Rocky Mountain National Park with their 11 children. When they returned to camp, one of the youngest children, Alfred, 5 years old, was missing. As quickly as they could, the family hurried to the park rangers. The Civilian Conservation Corps dispatched 100 workers to search for the kid. Shortwave radios had just recently been produced, but they were so large that they had to be carried like a hefty backpack to communicate with the rest of the search party. The group had decreased to 12 determined members and their bloodhounds after 10 days of seeking. When it was thought that a kidnapping was taking place, the FBI got involved. The only proof they had was a testimony from a married couple who claimed to have seen a small kid who matched Alfred's description. He was on the edge of a precipice, peering out into the unknown. He did not ask the couple for assistance in finding his family, so they believed they were close by. Alfred calmly strolled back into the woods, never to be seen again. Number 1. Dennis Johnson. Dennis Johnson was 8 years old when his family visited Yellowstone National Park in 1966. The parents started preparing a picnic and told their 2 children to go play. Dennis returned home a few minutes later, telling his parents that his younger sister had gone missing in the woods. Dennis' father claimed that his son had been taught some basic outdoor survival techniques and had a level head. As a result, he trusted the child to keep looking for his sister and meet them at the picnic location. They broke up, and the parents found their daughter who had gone missing. Dennis, however, never returned. The truth about what happened to Dennis is still a mystery. His remains have never been discovered, and speculations that he was abducted persist. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.